Hello, friendos and bendos, it's me, Z, and recently issue 28 of Tom King's Wonder Woman run came out, marking the end of the second arc, The Island of Mice and Men, and I want to give my thoughts on it. So, let's talk about the good, let's talk about the bad. Overall, though, I thought this arc was very mid. I don't like the word filler, but it felt like filler. It felt like this. It was an interlude, obviously, between the Sovereign arc and the next arc, which is going to be the big arc, the Wonder War. But even for an interlude, it felt very just. And I'll talk about more why when I get into what I dislike. But first, what I liked about this. So first of all, issue 22, just issue 22 straight up was really, really good. It was a fun Silver Age romp of Wonder Woman versus Mouse Man. I think King does very well in humor. I think I've said that before, and this was a just proof of that. I really liked issue number 22. Along with this, I liked the whole idea of Mouse Man becoming this type of fascist dictator. Like, he comes into this island, where they're like, no superheroes, because problems follow superheroes, and he's there, and then like crime starts happening, so he decides he's going to take it within his own hands and start his own fascist dictatorship, and it's this idea of how, seemingly perfect societies, built on, ideas of hope and unity can devolve into fascism because, people, they take the ideals of it to this extreme, and I don't know, I really like seeing that play out with Mouse Man's rise into, fascist dictatorship. I also loved how he used language to control the people of the island. I loved, if you didn't read this arc, essentially Mouse Man, the people of the island, he only allows them to say, mice have ears and Mouse Man knows. And then, if you're higher up in the government hierarchy, you can say it a bit more. Like, if you're a bit higher up, you can say yes and no. And then if you're a bit higher up, you can say compliments to Mouse Man. And then, if you're a bit higher up, you can start speaking in like actual words, like in sentences. But then only Mouse Man himself can say Wonder Woman. I thought that was so funny. I thought it was so funny, but also like so intriguing. You know what I mean? Like, this idea of language as a way to control a populace. Language has been used by fascism throughout time, you know what I mean? People are allowed to say certain things, they're not allowed to say certain things. So I think highlighting that idea with this story was really good. But that brings us to what I dislike about this story arc, which is the fact that I feel like nothing happened, and that's a shame because this story arc was also like longer than it needed to be. This was a 7-issue story arc. I feel like it could have been 5 or 4. I feel like this was very decompressed, and it just sucks because there's certain things that I feel like should have been explored within 7 issues if you're going to make it 7 issues, like exploring the fact that, language, how Mouse Man uses language, how that counteracts with Diana, her being the goddess of truth and all. If you're gonna, talk about how language is used, truth and language are connected, you know what I mean? I feel like more should have been done with that. I also feel like more should have been done with the whole Emily storyline. Like, she kind of just dies. She reappears again and she dies immediately. I don't know, it feels wrong to me. There's also the fact that the arc being long, like as long as it is, it makes the whole Mouse Man knows, mice have ears thing. It makes it drag on a lot. Like, the first 2 times, like the first 2 issues, it's fine, you know what I mean? But then it keeps going on, and you're like, oh my god, can you stop? Can you stop, please? I don't care that mice have ears. I do not care. Okay, I don't. But it's just, I don't know. It feels like maybe King is overworked, like he's doing Lanterns, he's doing the Mr. Miracle show, you know what I mean? He's doing a lot of stuff in the DCU. So I feel like on the comic side of things, I don't know, he feels overworked. It feels kind of like Peacemaker Season 2. You could kind of feel how James Gunn was like, he became the head of the DCU, and like he was all of a sudden he was writing Creature Commandos and Superman, and he was heading and producing all these sorts of projects. I feel like that same thing is happening with this arc, and I feel like it happened like near the end of the Sovereign arc as well. But I don't know, I just don't like this one that much. I'm thinking this is like a 6 out of 10 arc. I also want to talk about the matriarch, because this arc also features teasing about the matriarch, who's gonna be the next big villain. She's the daughter of Emily, the rogue Amazon, and the Sovereign, and she in the future, this dystopian DC future, comes to rule over it and stuff. And it's one of those things where, I think dark future stories can be cool, but I think the way it's handled here, it's like, I feel like more of an issue. I feel like either an entire issue really should have been dedicated to it, because it more so feels like, because it's more so half of 2 issues are dedicated to like glazing the matriarch, when I feel like there should have been just either A, an issue dedicated to her backstory, or B, have her like moments scattered throughout the entire arc and not just 2 issues. I feel like that would have made it feel more natural. And one last thing, I just want to talk about the art in this book, because Daniel Sampere does a great job on art, but sometimes there's like some things that are really good, but also sometimes there are things that I'm a bit iffy on. Like there's this page where Wonder Woman has like purple eyes, and it's like really bothers me, because like throughout the rest of even the arc, like she has very blue eyes, so her having like very like noticeable purple eyes, that's weird. I'm like, oops, that's strange, you know what I mean? And that same issue, like Batman is like super blue, and I get that like he got a new blue costume, a new Fraction and Jimenez run, but like his costume was so blue in this issue. It was so crazy. But there's also some stuff that I really liked. Of course, I love the pop art stars that are used in this series. Like when Wonder Woman, headbutts Mouseman on the nose, there's this big pop-up star, or is it Mouseman hitting Wonder Woman on the nose? It's one of those. But there's this big pop-up star where the nose is, to cover up the blood and stuff, and I think that's really fun. There's also this page of just Wonder Woman blocking bullets, the ping, 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 ping sound effect. I thought that was also super duper fun. But overall, I think that this arc was it's kind of filler, and that's really unfortunate, because I feel like a lot of the Sovereign arc also felt kind of like filler. It felt like, again, I don't like using that word. It's the kind of thing where it's like, the decompression doesn't allow you to enjoy the story as much, because you're like, okay, when are we gonna get to the point, And it really felt like this way. Like, it felt that way near the end of the Sovereign arc, and it really felt this way too, Reading this thing month to month, it sucks so bad, because, like, I read this all, like, after, I read this all month to month, but then to make this review, before it, I read all of them in a row, and it felt better. Like, it wasn't great, but it felt better. But, like, even then, I don't know, comics are a month to month medium. You gotta also take that into account. And I know that King can make a good, solid, like, single issue, alright? Like, the first issue 22, that was a solid single issue, you know what I mean? So, yeah. That's been it for me. Z, what are your thoughts on the recent arc, and what are your thoughts on the upcoming Wonder War arc? I'd love to know, and, yeah. I'll see you on Mouseman's Island. Bye. Okay, when I say it like that, it sounds like Mouseman is Jeffrey Epstein. What the fuck?